Hello, friends. My name is Lil Surprenant. I'm a physician coach, a practicing hospitalist, mom, reader, all the things. Thank you for joining me today. My podcast is about physicians loving their life. That's what I help doctors do. So today I want to talk about a concept that came up in my coaching practice this week. And the general concept was not new to us. It's the willingness to suck. The willingness to suck at something new, to try something with what they call beginner's mind. We're so used to being an expert as physicians. So we are, have gone through 4 years of college, 4 years of med school, minimum of 3 years of residency. And then if you're out, you've been practicing whatever your specialty is for years and years and years. So we have a lot of expertise in our medical jobs. And even sometimes, speaking for myself, sometimes we don't have expertise even in our medical stuff, but we have been trained and we like to project expertise. That's how we create comfort for our patients, for the patients' families, for the staff. We do our best we can to be expert, project that expertise. That's a whole bunch of our medical identity. So when you're wanting to do something different, whether it's create a side hustle, start a new hobby, make new friends, it's often really uncomfortable for us to take a step back and go to beginner's mind, that third year med student, deer in the headlights feeling, and be willing to suck at something. But I want to offer a little bit different perspective on this, and something that I find useful for myself, and you might find useful for you. So still, when you start something, you're probably going to suck, and that's okay. But I want to offer that instead of I'm a total beginner, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm willing to suck at this, from that very wobbly place, that it's useful to me to think of, I'm actually an expert already. I'm an expert in a different field. I'm an expert one-on-one coach. You coach with me one-on-one, I'm a great coach. I have no jiggly feeling about that. I'm a really rock solid hospitalist. I got no jiggly feelings about that. Do I have some jiggly feelings sometimes in the midst of decisions and complicated things going on? Of course. But I have really solid belief that I'm an expert coach, I'm an expert hospitalist, and I don't have to worry about those things. So what I want to offer is, when I start something new, for example, this podcast, I am not an expert podcaster. I feel very wobbly talking to this random void, but I can come at it with, I'm willing to suck because I'm an expert at something else. Being a beginner doesn't take anything away from my expertise in my other areas. And in fact, when I think of it, when I really settle into, I'm a rock solid hospitalist, I'm a great physician coach. For me, that produces a real solid, grounded feeling that allows for a playfulness and a willingness to be beginner, and that total suck feeling at something new. I get to keep my expert feeling, like nothing is going to take away my expertise in the other areas just because I'm a brand new, trying a new skill. So I'm all for the willingness to suck. I'm all for beginner's mind, but I want us as physicians, as experts in other places, if you're not a physician, I want us to take that solid rock solid feeling of expertise and use that in your willingness to suck and in your beginner's mind. So I was talking about this exact thing with a client this week. So my client is a fabulous um, expert practicing physician. No, like so solid, could do it in her sleep, just like most of us have been doing it for years. Just really have that solid expert feeling. This client is also a very successful business person. So she has a lot of expertise in starting and growing her specialty business. She's actually very expert in running the business and teaching people aspects of the business. But what she's working on now is learning basically to sell a totally different type of business. And what we were talking about is, partly what had been holding her back from going into this fully was the feeling that she should be projecting the expertise like we do as physicians. Because she's successful physician, successful business owner, she should be basically an expert at the new thing already. So she's expecting that of herself, and she's also expecting that projection, out into the world. And that's where we got to this concept this week, which I just thought was a really interesting way to think about it. It's like, no, that expertise in the other areas actually makes it easier for you to be this wobbly beginner, because nothing's going to take away the fact that you're a successful business owner. Nothing's going to take away the fact that you're an extremely successful expert physician. So then that gives you room, padding, cushion to be a little more playful and embrace that suck, embrace that that there's no chance you're going to get all this stuff right on the first go round. That makes failure not so painful, because you get to stand in that expertise you've worked so hard for in another area. So that's what I've got for you today, is the classic advice, to be willing to suck, try new things, beginner's mind. Yes. But for you, my physician clients, my physician listeners, my friends, even if you're not a physician, you're an expert in something. I want you to take that expert feeling and allow yourself to suck in something else with that spaciousness. Like, you've got room to mess up. That's what I've got for you today. Have a great rest of the day. Bye.